I want to speak to a very specific type of experience today, and it's not our usual at the Irish Pagan School, but it is something that I deal with and a lot of our students deal with. So we're going to speak directly to a very specific experience today. This isn't about stress. It isn't about burnout. It isn't just hormones, even though the menopause often brings it to the surface. But it's that moment in midlife where you wake with a tight chest, a low level anxiety that doesn't belong to anything happening now, and a sense that something old is pressing in on you. Now, look, your life might be absolutely fine on paper. Grand. You might be competent, capable, responsible, even very well respected, successful. But something still feels unsettled and often deeply unsettled. Now, if that's you, stay with me. When I did a video like this last time, I got a huge response. I want you to stay with me, right? Because what I see again and again, especially in women and people who lived under social conditioning placed on women, either past or present, is this. You are not anxious because you're weak. You are anxious because you're carrying things that were never meant to be carried forever. Unexamined family patterns. Religious pressure that trained obedience instead of self-trust. Inherited guilt, fear, or silence that never had language. And midlife is when the body stops cooperating with suppression. Now, for all my fellow midlife folk, this is going to be very relatable. We've had enough. And your entire body stops cooperating with your own suppression and oppression. Mine did, and I know that I'm not alone in that experience. Comment below if you find that familiar. And we've got menopause, we've got aging, we've got body changes, we've got role changes, we've got shifts in visibility, which are not necessarily a bad thing. It's good to be invisible in midlife to a certain kind of person out there in the world. But all of these are not what you're used to, and they strip away coping strategies that worked when you were younger. And what's left isn't pathology, it's truth. It's the raw, real truth. Now, a lot of people try to solve this with self-care. Absolutely been there, and I'm sure you have too. Comment below with your best self-care methodology to date. We do more baths, we do more journaling, we look for another mindset shift. But self-care doesn't touch inherited pressure, whether that's from your own life through past abuse or through your ancestral line. Talking about your family doesn't necessarily help either. Talk therapy, I've been there, I've done that. Because much of what we're dealing with isn't conscious memory. It's inherited through our DNA. It lives in our nervous system. And that's why people say things like this to me all the time. I don't know why I feel like this. Nothing bad happened to me. I should be fine. And yet, here we are. So, this is exactly why I'm hosting the Cailleach's call on January the 16th here in County Waterford, Ireland. It is a one-day application-only gathering designed for women who are ready to stop carrying what isn't ours, what isn't yours, and to meet with midlife from a place of authority rather than fear. It's not therapy. It's not group processing. Nobody's going to be handing out mirrors so you can check your body bits. And it's definitely not spiritual performance. If you've been around me for a hot minute, you know that is not what we're about here at all. What it is, though, is structured, grounded work that is rooted in Irish cultural frameworks that understand ancestry, land, and responsibility without romanticising or fantasising them. Now, one of the biggest questions I've gotten since I announced this event is, what if this opens too much? And I've had it myself where I'm contemplating another round of therapy and I'm like, my life is fine. I'm managing, I'm coping. I don't want to crack this open again. I have scabs that aren't quite scars yet, but if I go digging around in those wounds, who knows what's underneath? What am I going to find? And what if it opens this up too much? Now, that is a fair question. It really is. But again, this isn't therapy, right? The work on this day is deliberately contained. You are never going to be required to speak. You are never going to be required to share personal stories. You are absolutely never going to be required or pushed to relive trauma. That is not what we're doing. That is not what we're about. My job is not to crack people open. It's to help you steady. That's the point. We work with boundaries first, always. Big on the boundaries over here. Now, another question that I'm asked regularly about this is, what if I'm not in Ireland? And don't worry, I've got you. The venue that we have picked is just gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. And it is an exclusive luxury experience if you can show up on the day. But there is an online option as well. And all of this is intentionally limited because what I'm creating here is this small, curated, managed event. And it exists precisely because this work matters beyond just one room. Online participants are not an afterthought. Anybody joining online will receive the full teaching, the guided practices, and the post-event integration materials, as well as the live access on the day. The work translates. I do a lot of my work online, and it definitely translates wherever you are in the world. The care remains. So if you can get here in person in Waterford, treat yourself. But if you can't, there are online places available. Now, and I also want to be really clear, based on some feedback that I've gotten, I blithely went into this saying, this is a women-only event. And honestly, it's because I don't want to be dealing with men. Really, nobody needs to be dealing with men doing this work. There are some men out there who are amazing. I love yous. But for the most part, this is not men's work. This is women's work, right? But when I say women, I am not using that word in any kind of a bioessentialist way. Again, if you've been around me for a hot minute, you know that is not who I am. This work is not trans exclusive. It is not policing bodies, chromosomes, or identities. It is for women, including trans women, but also for non-binary or trans-masculine people who have lived under the social, cultural, or religious conditioning placed on women. So trans women are going through that now just the same as every other woman. But there are non-binary or trans-masculine people, trans men, who know exactly what I'm talking about, who feel the same pains. If the pressures that I'm describing live in your body and your history, you are not outside this work. Obviously, it's not going to be for everybody. It's really not. And the only thing that's not welcome here is ideology that denies other people's humanity. So care, clarity, and boundaries go together, as with every single other thing that I do. Now, this day is not for you if you want a quick fix. It's not for you if you're looking for certification, validation, or a new identity to perform. We are not about that. It is for you, though, if you're ready to be honest about what you're carrying, if you're ready to look at it, if you want grounded guidance rather than hype and wellness and toxic positivity, if you're done pretending that this will just go away on its own, because it hasn't, and it's only cracking further open, applications for the Cailleach call are open now. This is a paid application only event. Places are intentionally limited and exclusive, both in person and online, because I need to curate who is in the room, both physically and virtually, with us. I need to manage that. I need to make sure. So please understand that if you apply and you are not accepted, it is not because of any kind of personal failing or anything like that. It is because I am managing the people who have already applied and been accepted and making sure that everybody is going to be able to work well together on the day. So if this has landed in your chest rather than your head, take that as your cue. Read the application page. Sit with it. Check your bank balance and apply if it feels right. You don't have to be ready. You just have to be willing. Honestly. So you'll find the link below. And if this isn't your time, that's fine too. There are other resources. There are so many other resources available through the Irish Pagan School. And there's going to be more available through the Cailleach Council. But if it is your time, don't talk yourself out of it. Join us. Because midlife doesn't ask politely. It asks honestly. This is an invitation to meet that honesty with steadiness, with context, with community, and with support. I have gone through every single part of this myself. And I didn't have steadiness, I didn't have context, I didn't have guidance, I didn't have community, and I definitely didn't have support. Shout out to my sister, though. My sister has been supporting me, and vice versa. Apart from that, and I hope you have somebody in your life who can give you support, whether this is for you or not. I hope to see the right people in the room there in January, either the physical room or the virtual room. The surroundings are gorgeous. The whole day event will be a beautifully curated and held space. There's going to be so much communication and preparation and integration afterwards. So we're not just talking about a day. But with all of that, if you happen to be seeing this after the 16th of January, or rather after the 9th of January, I believe the applications actually close, then your name and your details are just going to go onto a waiting list. And then we will see if we can host this again. I would love to do these on a regular basis. So go to the application if it is for you right now. Okay? So slán and sláinte, and I hope to see you on the 16th of January.